My guest this morning is Bert Boeckmann. Now, Bert and I met, I don't know how many years ago, but I remember a few years ago I voted for him as a member of the board of Horatio Alger, and he was unanimously elected into the Horatio Alger fraternity. He is a graduate of USC. He is the largest Ford dealership in the world, and he has won, I think, every significant honor that the automobile industry nationally or globally hands out. But there is no corporate leader that I respect more than Bert Boeckmann. You heard me say that I believe in Christian capitalism. Earn all you can, then invest all you can, then give all you can. That's a philosophy for self-esteem and Christian living. He lives it. And so he's the head of, he owns Galpin Ford dealership, and I said to him a while back, with our 50th anniversary year, I'm going to hear this so often it tires me. The Chuler and his wife came here 50 years ago in a 53 Chevrolet. Chevrolet has got more PR out of that than any other car dealership. So let's try to balance the scale a bit, and I'll announce that you are the world's largest Ford dealership. So here we are. Very good. Why did you go to USC?
Well, my father had three things he wanted for his children. You might enjoy it. He wanted, first of all, a belief in God. Secondly, he wanted to leave them an unblemished name. And thirdly, he wanted his two sons to go to USC. Now, that may sound a little bit unusual until you realize he was orphaned at 10. And he wanted his son to go where, of course, he couldn't go. And I know that many of you would feel the same for your children, that for those things that you aren't able to have, you'd like to have it for your sons. And that's what dictated it. And my brother and I both went to USC.
You know, when we elect people into Horatio Alger, which now you know, we ask, did he really start from nothing? And you didn't inherit much money, did you?
No, I didn't inherit any money. My father worked very hard, and I think I worked very hard too in starting a dealership. In fact, in the beginning it was quite a disappointment to my father in that I was waiting for the last semester to start at school, in my last semester for graduation, and a friend of mine said, let's go see about hiring in at a Ford dealership and work as car salesman for a while. And I said, well, I don't think I want to do that, but I went down with him, and lo and behold, of course, I got hired in too. And he lasted 3 weeks, and I've been there 53 years. My mother made my dad feel a lot better. He's very disappointed. He said, I saved money all these years to send my son to USC, now he's going to be a car salesman. He really expected something more. And my mother consoled him by saying, don't worry, it won't last. So that helped him feel better, I guess, for a while. But in the end, he did truly enjoy the business we were in. And I had just a lot of fun, I think because of all the people I got to meet. And in the business, it's funny to me that more people in business don't see it quite the way I do. And even with our employees, it's something that when I'm hiring new people or in training, I talk to them about, and that is serving people. People say, I don't want to be a servant to anyone else, or I'm here to make a paycheck, but that's not what it's about. I think our growth has come through when I went to work at the Ford dealership. We were selling 50 cars a month. Very small store, and I was a salesman and became the manager and ultimately the owner. And the one thing I tried to do was serve the customer the way I'd want to be served. And to me, that was the only reason we had to be in business. If you're doing it for any other reason, tendency is to fail. If you're looking for a paycheck or a profit, and that's where your focus is, it's in the wrong place, because you put your focus with the servant's attitude on the customer, then you'll earn your profit or your paycheck. And so this is something that I have talked to all of our people about, and when we're through training, one of the things I tell them is that that's the only basis we have to have the right to be there, and this is the way it needs to be done. And I think it's helped us tremendously in developing the business we have. We know some of the things. I know I'm on fourth generation with some of the families, and that's wonderful.
Boy.
I know that 76% of our business is repeat, referral, and reputation.
Boy, those are good. Repeat, renewal,
reputation, right? We know that we outsell the number 2 dealer in California by nearly 3 to 1, and that's never been done before. And so I'm really proud of our people, but it isn't just sales. The things I'm most proud about is that we've received all the national awards. Dealer of the Year, Time Quality Magazine, National Retailer. I was just back in New York receiving an award from General Motors for our Saturn dealership as Dealer of the Year. And the thing I enjoy about those awards is not the award, and it's not the sales that got you there, it's the other 2 measures. And those 2 measures are how you satisfy your customers and how you deal in your community. And those are the things that are critical to me in business.
You have a reputation for giving millions of dollars a year to a variety of charities. It's one of the things that caught the attention of Horatio Alger, because, as you know, we focus not just on achieving success, but how do you handle it and what are your real values. How do you decide which ones to respond to positively?
By and large, we have kind of a rule. Unless it's against motherhood or as anti-democracy, our managers all have the ability to give a contribution down on the floor. So if somebody comes in with their children and say, oh, gee, would you contribute to such and such, they just take care of it there. To the larger amounts, which, you know, we've got in everything from giving Mother Teresa, had a wonderful event with her and gave her $1 million in product where she wanted it delivered, and even went with a delivery in Russia. And my wife had gotten seeds for the people, the farmers in Russia, because they abandoned the farms around Moscow, and they didn't have seed. We got the seed for it, flew it into them, and went out and delivered it, kept it out of Moscow, got it out to the farms where we knew it'd be used. So we've done a lot of things internationally. But
interesting.
Thank you.
Very interesting, because I'm involved in both of those cases myself. Where did you learn to be so philanthropic?
You know, at our home, when I grew up, the people we referred to then as bums, I don't know if it's fashionable to use that word today, but when they would come around to get a handout or a bite to eat, if that house gave them food, they'd mark it on the curb. They'd put a little mark out there, and it looked like red paint that they put. And I remember our curb always had that on it, so I have to say I probably learned that from my parents. But theirs was very important, to share in your community, share with your people, share with people that come and ask you for things. Do not turn down anyone. We never turned down anyone in the family that looked for a bite to eat or a place to stay. And, you know, hopefully I grew up that way and would pray my family does the same.
You attend church today?
Yes. Jack Hayford is my pastor at Church on the Way.
My dear friend.
In fact, he made an interesting comment. He was over at our dealership many years ago, and he said, Bert, you know the reason you're so successful is that you built your business on biblical principles. Yeah. And I thought that was, I never thought of it that way. I just thought of right and wrong. You know, things are black or white, they're right or wrong. And of course, that's built on biblical principles, isn't it?
Absolutely. Now, at your age, what are your goals?
Well, I think for, what is it? Never throw away tomorrow? Wasn't that your book? Do not throw away tomorrow. Don't throw away tomorrow. I began reading that. I'm through about 4 chapters on it. And I started out with a bang. I agree with you completely. So I'm still very active. I have 2 sons in the business, and they're well equipped to take it over. I have 5 wonderful children. Sometimes I forget to tell them that, so if they're watching, I think the world of you. But it's to have them take over my business, just as I see your son coming here in the church, and I would hope would be a leader here when you and I are no longer available at this location.
Fantastic. Let me just say something. Corporate chiefs have been under attack, and many of them have earned it. And this man has never been under attack. He's built the most important thing, more important than big business or great philanthropy. He's built a great name, a great father, great friend. And Jesus Christ twinkles through your eyes very easily. God bless you.
God bless you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.